So I've been told I have 3 minutes to fashion a continuing resolution, end the government shutdown, and make sure that Trump wins the Nobel Prize. So just stand by. I got a lot to cover in the next 3 minutes. Instead of trying to cover all of that substantive work that needs to be done in Congress, my name is Chris Burnett. I am running for Congressional District 6, and I've had a chance to meet many of you. So I'm going to very quickly go through how we got to this point and then what I plan to do for CD6. Many of you know my story already. I'm not a career politician. This was not the plan. Really, you just have to ask my wife. This was the last thing she expected me to do after 22 years in the Marine Corps. Those 22 years in the Marine Corps, those weren't even a plan. That came about because I was commissioned the summer of 2001. And needless to say, 9/11 changed the entire trajectory of my adult life. At the time, I was in my first year of law school, and I thought I would practice law in Western Pennsylvania. Instead, I found myself away from my wife and kids nearly 7 years of my 22 years on active duty, spending most of that time on the ground in Iraq. I had 4 combat deployments in Iraq, and then 1 was a part of a Marine Expeditionary Unit. And what I learned over the course of those years and over the course of those deployments was the initial theme of this campaign. And then when the decision to run was made, I thought about how do I transfer the skills I learned overseas, the skills I learned as a lawyer, a leader, and as an advisor. How do I transfer that into a campaign? And the theme was accountability, transparency, and integrity. And that was a big part of introducing myself to all of you. I had to explain who I was, why I was here, and what was important to me. I think we've lost sight of how important character is when it comes to selecting representatives. My character has been forged in combat. My character and my background reflect my priorities going forward. My wife has been an incredible supporter of raising our 4 kids and then figuring out how to navigate Montgomery County schools. I'm reassured by the work that's being done by the parents that were here earlier. I have 4 children in Montgomery Public Schools, and I can tell you that this is a very real concern. And that was part of my decision to run. But my decision to run for Congress had to do with my background and experience. I spent 22 years focused on federal law, public schools, and I can tell you that this is a very real concern. And that was part of my decision to run. But my decision to run for Congress had to do with my background and experience. I spent 22 years focused on federal law, whether it was the National Defense Authorization Act, whether it was policy or law, whether it was being applied domestically or overseas. My expertise lies at the congressional or federal level. So as I looked at where I could be most relevant, where I could serve the interests of this room, families like mine, farmers of Western Maryland, and most importantly, small business owners as well, I realized that the place I can make the greatest difference is in Congressional District 6. And then I hope to support all down-ticket ballots, because what we can do is lead from the front and lead from the top down. We have to start to expect to win. We have to start changing the narrative from poking the Democrats to beating them. Beating them with our ideas, beating them with our energy and our effort. I thought you were going to give me more time.
It's a little bit broken.
All right. So what I'll get into now, and I can finish in 30 seconds. As I pivot from the introductory phase of my campaign, the follow-on part is going to be about ensuring that we have prosperity, peace, and protection. What I mean by that is prosperity is less taxes, fewer regulations, and more opportunity. Peace is my national security background, focused on strong national security, clear and coherent foreign policy, and peace through strength. I can't say enough good things about the War Secretary Hegseth and then what Trump is doing in the Middle East, having spent so much of my time there. And the last part there is protection. Unequivocal support to law enforcement, protecting our children in schools, and most importantly, allowing ICE to do its job so that we can pass comprehensive immigration reform and ensure that opportunities I've got one last thing to say. Like every other Saturday, I'm going to be leaving here almost just immediately. I've got to get out to Garrett to spend the afternoon there. And then this evening, I'll be at a Lincoln-Reagan dinner in Allegheny. So I will not be here, but my beautiful wife will be outside. She's the real brains behind the operation, so I look forward to talking to all of you about